tree line or what? Tuck Tuck and Kim got the blue balls here. I'm gonna let them score before it go. That's the signal. Go, 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 go!
Thug life.
Don't.
Come tomorrow, there's a brand new principal in town, and his name is Neil Gamby. And those who want to be catty little bitches, well, they can kiss their fucking jobs goodbye.
Well, it would appear that your baby bro has started to jack his little ding-a-ling.
I don't understand.
What's confusing? He's blasting cum everywhere.
Kenny's cutting in!
All right, y'all. This is another one. This Murph Almighty. And this is another episode of Hollywood Gems. Gems of Hollywood, hidden Hollywood gems. We're going to call it whatever we want because we just rocking and rolling. On this episode, I want to get into, obviously, one of my favorites, Danny McBride. Let's go. All right, y'all. Let's talk about a dude who carved out his own lane in comedy, Danny McBride. You know, the master of saying the out-of-pocket shit while still making you root for him. Whether he's spitting out wild one-liners on Eastbound and Down,
Atlanta, you're fucking out.
or being a lovable disaster in Tropic Thunder,
Mother Nature just pissed her pants suit.
Danny has got that I shouldn't laugh at this, but I'm crying type of humor down pat. But there's more to this man than just mullets and mayhem. Let's dive into his story, his work, and some of his rare gems on his life that you may not even have known. Danny McBride was born on December 29, 1976 in Statesboro, Georgia, but he grew up in Fredericksburg, Virginia. His mom, Kathy McBride, she worked as a school administrator, and his stepfather was a prison guard. Now check this out. His mom used to use puppets to teach sermons in church. Imagine that being your intro into learning about storytelling. Danny graduated from North Carolina High School of Arts in 1999, where he met future collaborators like Jody Hill and David Gordon Green. These friendships weren't just college hangouts, they were the seeds that grew into his Hollywood career. Danny's first claim to fame was the low-budget indie hit The Foot Fist Way in 2006. He co-wrote it with Jody Hill and played Fred Simmons, a hilariously arrogant Taekwondo instructor. This film is pure DIY energy, low budget, offbeat, and raw. And guess who loved it? Will Ferrell and Adam McKay. They were so impressed that they helped get it distributed, essentially kickstarting Danny's career. See, from there, it was like comedy floodgates opening. You got Pineapple Express in 2008, where he played Red, the unpredictable drug dealer. Got his ass whooped more than anyone in that film, and he made it look fun. Remember when he got shot in the stomach? Ow! That was good. Tropic Thunder in 2008 as Cody, the explosion-obsessed pyrotechnics guy. Danny got to drop lines like, "Big
Mother Nature just pissed her pants suit."
After setting off a huge blast, peak McBride energy. Eastbound and Down, my favorite, 2009 to 2013. Now listen, I'm gonna have to take my time on this one. Y'all gonna have to rock with me, okay? This is an undisputed masterpiece. This is how I found Danny, okay? I had to go back after this. Now, let's get real. If you're talking about Danny McBride, you gotta talk about Eastbound and Down. This is not just a show to me. It's a God-tier comedy masterpiece. From the moment the mullet menace Kenny Powers rolled onto the scene in 2009, spitting pure unfiltered ignorance, and somehow he made this shit funny as hell. We knew we were witnessing something special. Now, Who is Kenny Powers, you ask? Kenny Powers is a washed-up, trash-talking ex-MLB pitcher who fell from grace harder than a drunk uncle at a wedding. After blowing his career and his ego to pieces, he ends up back at his hometown of Shelby, North Carolina, living with his brother and teaching gym class to kids who could care less about his legendary status. Now let's be real about Kenny Powers. He's problems. He's loud, arrogant, borderline delusional, maybe fully delusional, but Danny McBride plays him with such a perfect balance of absurdity and vulnerability that you end up rooting for this train wreck even when you know you shouldn't. Kenny Powers is the anti-hero we never asked for, but damn, I'm glad we got him. That writing was genius. Danny co-wrote the show with Jody Hill and Ben Best, and these dudes didn't hold back nothing. The dialogue is pure gold, a relentless stream of insults, arrogance, and a twisted motivational speech that hit like haymakers. Kenny's one-liners are legendary. From the infamous "you're fucking out" to his insane life advice. Every episode gave us quotables for days.
Swimming, well, you know all about that.
No, actually, I don't. I play real sports, not trying to be the best at exercising.
Kenny's mouth was a weapon and nobody was safe. The characters were wild and perfect. Beyond Kenny, the supporting cast was a chef's kiss of absurdity. Stevie Janowski, played by Steve Little, Kenny's loyal but cringy sidekick who could do anything for his hero.
Oh, fuck. I'm so drunk, I feel retarded.
Stevie's desperation to be cool sometimes made him both pathetic and hilarious.
You were driving because you're my assistant. That's what my assistant does.
Am I really your assistant?
I loved him. He was one of my favorites. April Buchanan, played by Kathy Mixon, Kenny's high school flame, as the one person who somehow sees the glimmer of good in him despite all of that bullshit he going through.
April. April.
Even when he left her at the gas station, that was crazy. Don't forget about Clegg, played by Ben Best, the drugged out, burnout, whose life is cautionary tales. When Kenny Powers is around, he should probably pay attention, but he doesn't. He lets Clegg rock. Every character adds another layer of chaos to Kenny's world, and is perfect. Let's not forget about Ashley Schaefer. God almighty, Ashley Schaefer was crazy. His off-brand country swag, Colonel Sanders type of feeling. I don't know what that was going on with that, but
I can feel it down in my plums. You're getting a nice bluish hue.
that was some of the best comedy I saw, and it felt like it was spur of the moment, and it was hilarious. You gotta check out Will Ferrell. Now, across those 4 seasons, we watched Kenny Powers attempt to crawl his way back to greatness, or at least his version of greatness. Whether he was trying to reclaim his MLB career, becoming a jet ski mogul, or just refusing to admit he was washed up, the man stayed hustling. The brilliance of that show isn't just in the fact that Kenny wins, it is his spectacular, delusional failures and his refusal to ever accept defeat. The final season wrapped up Kenny's saga with just the right mix of closure and ridiculousness. That last scene where Kenny Powers finally gets a glimpse of who he really is, but not before giving us that one final absurd victory lap, was pure perfection. Yes, I say perfection. This is a masterpiece because it wasn't afraid to be raw, offensive, and straight up ridiculous. It took a character who should have been unbearable and made him iconic. Danny McBride didn't just create a show, he gave us a cultural phenomenon, a character study of delusional and redemption.
I like to butt fuck fine ladies. Will I choke hold a bitch? Well, maybe.
Now, to me, it's one of the funniest damn things I ever saw on TV. The show didn't play it safe. It learned and leaned into chaos. And it slaps to this day. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor. Watch it all. Watch it again and watch it again. Kenny Powers forever, bruh. Kenny Powers, bruh. Salute to you, Danny McBride, for that show. Now, this is the end in 2013. Danny McBride played a wild version of himself in this apocalyptic comedy. Who else would make cannibalism and demon fighting look that hilarious?
No, it was me, Franco. I fucking made jizz in your magazine.
Why?
When I fucking jack off long enough, I end up jizzing, dude.
Rare things you didn't know about Danny. He was almost in The Office. Before breaking out in Hollywood, Danny auditioned for the role of Dwight Schrute. Can you imagine how unhinged that version of Dwight would have been? He co-created the Halloween reboot. Yep. Danny is not just about comedy. He co-wrote and produced the Halloween 2018 reboot and its sequels. It turns out he's got a taste for horror too. And he's tight with Kanye. At one point, Kanye West personally asked and called Danny and wanted him to play Kanye in his biopic. Kanye was on some next level thinking shit with that one, but Danny was all ears. I don't know if it ever came out or if it will, but I would watch it. And he does voice work. If you didn't know, Danny also been in some of the big animated hits like Kung Fu Panda 2 and the Angry Birds movie. Now, Vice Principals in 2016 and 2017.
Gets a weird look on his face, then looks at the girl and says, "Sweetheart, that ain't marinara sauce."
After wrapping up Eastbound and Down, Danny teamed up with his partner in crime, Jody Hill, for another wild ride. This time, he dropped the baseball and picked up his clipboard to play Neil Gamby, a bitter, power-hungry high school vice principal. Neil's mission? To take down anyone who stands between him and the principal's chair.
Come tomorrow, there's a brand new principal in town, and his name is Neil Gamby.
But he's not alone in his ridiculous quest. He teams up with his equally unhinged colleague Lee Russell, played by Walton Goggins. The two of them form an alliance filled with sabotage, pettiness, and some of the most dysfunctional buddy comedy you've ever seen. This show is hilariously dark. It's 2 seasons of pure chaos and where teachers act worse than students. School politics turn into full-blown warfare. Think of it as a twisted version of Game of Thrones, but with more khakis and awkward parent-teacher conferences. Danny once again nails that balance of absurdity and emotion, giving us a character who is total jerk, but somehow makes us feel for him. Plus, Walton Goggins, that man is a national treasure. The Righteous Gemstones from 2019 to present. See, if Eastbound and Down was Danny's comedy crown jewel, then Righteous Gemstones is his holy grail. This show takes aim at the world of mega church televangelists, and man, it goes hard. Danny plays Jesse Gemstone, the eldest son of the Gemstone family, a clan of filthy rich hypocritical preachers led by patriarch Eli Gemstone, played by John Goodman. Jesse got all McBride trademarks: arrogance, delusion, and talent for getting into ridiculous situations, usually of his own making. But Danny didn't just stop at acting on this one. He is also the creator, the writer, and executive producer. The show blends comedy, crime, and family drama in a way that only he can pull off. The Gemstones are greedy, corrupt, and often clueless, but they're also a family, and Danny finds the humanity in their dysfunction. Let's not forget the cast, as the chaotic sister Judy and Adam Devine as the dim-witted brother Kelvin. They are both comedy gold. Together, they give us a family that's both a train wreck and a masterclass in comedy. Now, why these shows matter? With Vice Principals and Righteous Gemstones, Danny McBride showed that he is not a one-trick pony. He took that Eastbound and Down formula, outrageous anti-heroes, raw humor, and just enough heart, and evolved it. Let's go to his family life. He's low-key, but really solid. While Danny McBride characters is wild as hell, his personal life is very chill. He's married to Gia Ruiz, an art director. In 2010, they got married. They got 2 kids. I think I'm pronouncing it Declan George, and a daughter whose name they kept private. Now, they live in Charleston, South Carolina. What up? About 3 hours away. They stayed away from the Hollywood madness. Danny's all about keeping his family life real low profile, no stunts, no drama, regular dad vibes type stuff. So we moving on. Now, the legacy of Danny McBride, the underdog icon, carved out a niche of anti-heroes thrive initiatives. Whether it's through Danny Power's epic meltdowns or the behind the scenes writing and producing, Danny stays true to the unique brand of humor. He's not your average comedy star, and that's why we love him. So next time you're watching Danny McBride, it's probably a classic, but just remember, this dude went from indie obscurity to comedy kingpin by doing it his way. And we're all better and slightly more twisted for it. Danny McBride, you are a true Hollywood gem. I want to give you your flowers. Blacklight TV wants to give you your flowers. Make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube. I appreciate you guys for listening. This has been Murph, Big Brother Almighty. Hey.